Playing as Ragna in the purple. We've got Rasposo. I haven't seen a lot of Ragna so far, so this should be interesting. Up against Sedge, being played by OgreNade. So I think generally people would consider Sedge to be a bit stronger in Fog. He has a lot of very cool options. Fog is very thematic for Sedge as well, but being able to like run in, pick up a couple kills, and then run out again into like the mist is quite nice.
Very true.
But
And like you can do some really funny plays with Sedge where like you're grooving the army, and when you escape, you enter a transport, and then you can basically have Sedge start the next turn on another section of the map and surprise your opponent that way.
but Ragna, on the other hand, can just lethally out of nowhere, especially with tier 2, just like leaps out of the fog and just does massive damage. So, we could see some,
Yeah, that's what she does in theory, right?
in theory. I mean, on this map, actually, I guess she kind of works as well because of these watchtowers. Because you see, you actually get like a decent amount of vision on your end. So if you see like a good opportunity to jump in, and that's normally one of Ragnar's weaknesses, or other ranged commanders too, is actually being able to get vision on where you want to hit. And in the case of Ragnar with these watchtowers, that actually kind of negates that weakness a little bit.
Hmm. I mean, I'm not sure how the watchtowers impact like the grooves really. It depends where they fight above everything. It looks like Rasposo got like swords in both corners capturing villages, and OgreNade is gonna be late in the top one. I'm not sure how to evaluate these openings. They both kind of did the same thing, but not exactly. And they both like don't really have any combat unit out yet, except their commander.
You see balloon coming out here as well. So yeah, it's actually very low cost units so far from both players. Oh, that sword's getting surprised. But that's fine because the opposing side lumber mill is has been captured by Rasposo. So
Yep. It's more like you think the sword won't will at most take a hit if it's already been captured. Likely. Like it might die, but that's pretty unlucky if it does.
all right, we see the lumber mill starting to pay off. People getting those big money deposits in. Oh, that sword took a little bit of a loop-de-loo, but all right. OgreNade actually has money this turn, so we can see like a big unit buy come out.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think either have built any mages yet, and
Oh,
very well. There we go, one mage. But a very like sneaky thing you can do that is kind of expected at this point is that when you build there, if your opponent just doesn't have the anti-air to deal with it, then the air gets massive value, right? So usually it's a good idea to have preemptive anti-air because you don't want to run into like harpies or dragons and without knowing it and without being ready.
yeah, very true. And I mean, your opponent, especially like depending on where a tower is on a map, you can accidentally push into a tower that has something there that your opponent's just hiding a unit. Like they just don't move it, so you don't hear there's an air unit. That's, I guess, more of like a kind of later game trick, and it's very, very map dependent, so you wouldn't see it on this one. But there are definitely tricks you can do. So you're right. Like you should always have preemptive mages because you just don't know what your opponent's going to do, and they're also very good for the capture phase on a lot of maps too.
Yep. I mean, they're also like they don't have to worry about knights as much in fog because if a knight can reach your mage, it doesn't mean that it has vision onto your mage. I mean, so far they're both like doing a very straightforward like commander push, where their commander ended up. And when we see the dog setting up a crit and also scouting to see if there's any mages nearby so that the harpy can go hit Sedge.
Yeah, smart play, and yeah, we're gonna see this sword get dinged, and yeah, a whole bunch of other stuff nearby.
And now, like, Rasposo is doing a dangerous thing. They're pushing into the watchtower. And OgreNade will know that there's a rifle out if they have animations on now.
Very true. Yeah, you kind of want to put animations on for fog just because it reveals what tile your opponent's standing in.
I don't think it. Oh yeah, it reveals the terrain.
Yeah. So, you know, if your opponent's rifle's in a forest, that gives you like some nice information for that. Just like any indirect, really. Okay, OgreNade doing a decent job kind of repelling Ragna on the right hand side.
Yep. Sedge has also been somewhat pushed back, although both like have been somewhat pushed back, but not really completely yet. So we'll see how it goes.
This is actually almost lethal in Sedge. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, there's like a night crit. I think night crit would do like 50, right?
Yeah, on a beach, dog. If Sedge, funny.
Yeah,
If Sedge
these
was like a bit
swords are
higher.
protecting Sedge.
Yeah, so he is safe, but it's just like that's funny to think about, like how.
Yeah, and OgreNade has no idea.
Yeah, and oh, we see
They
double
don't know how
rifle.
close they were to dying.
Yeah. Double rifle and witch. Ooh, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah. The dog crit is also a very like it's kind of a threat onto Ragna. It's like if you don't back up, I'm gonna lethal you. And I mean, in this case, the threat is backed up by an actual army that can do it next turn.
Yeah, double rifle, witch. It's a lot of indirects. You're taking what, like 30% before anything else happens?
Yep, and a bunch of crits.
Yeah, that's very true. Ragnar needs to run at this point.
Yep, and you can't reinforce from a watchtower. So she's gonna have to heal on that lumber mill, which is a safer position, admittedly.
Yeah, there's a heal on the watchtower, but it's like really awkward, right? It's like 20%
Yeah,
and you
it's
have
like
to pay a lot.
200 for 30%.
Oh, okay.
I think. I'm not sure.
Something like that.
It's not very good, except like on golems.
Oh, apparently the healing part of the watchtower has actually been disabled on this map. It's interesting
Really?
to know.
So here, like OgreNade pushed back Ragna, and they're also pushing in the bottom left side of the map. But like, if you think for a bit about like where Rasposo's army is, OgreNade should have a sneaking like suspicion that Rasposo's army is missing at the moment. So where is it really? It's kind of just waiting in the fog to pounce on OgreNade. Like it's either that or it's setting up for a stronghold push out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think up until this point though, Rasposo's been taking worse trades. So they do just have less army to work with right now. Although,
Yep.
that's the reveal of the golem. If you've got sound on, you know exactly what's coming.
Yeah, you see that dragon on the left is just hanging out in the fog. I think it's just waiting there in case Sedge like is a bit too aggressive. And this is the kind of thing that in if the game happens in async, you can kind of forget that there was a dragon like a few turns ago that hasn't been revealed for a few turns. But OgreNade seems to really favor rifles.
Yeah, OgreNade definitely one of the bigger rifle fans in the community.
Yeah, there's a big firing squad right there. Not gonna go for the crit on Ragna. Could have gotten 2 crits on Ragna actually, but decaps one village, gets 1 crit. I guess the crit from the mountain is better because your spear doesn't take that much damage back.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, and go. Oh, that's. Alright, jumps in place. I think that was tier 2
Yeah, that
from
was
the
tier 2.
damage.
Yeah.
Most certainly, but. Uh, when you Ragna groove, there's always that question of, are you gonna survive?
Yeah, like she
and
could very well die.
and OgreNade has a little surprise ready for Ragna.
Very true. Ooh, but that witch is
Finishing
gonna go
off
down.
that spear and the witch is gonna make Ragna a bit safer. Oh, there's
second
another
witch.
witch.
Oh, and there's a firing squad behind this. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
I don't think it's gonna be enough. Oh wait, no, there's a dog in that forest. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I was expecting a dog suicide. Oh, I guess you don't dog suicide. Or in this case, you can actually, because, yeah, dog's a little bit weak.
I don't think you do, because like you want the crits.
Oh, okay. So,
And you don't have like enough units to attack from every side if you suicide anyway.
yeah.
So yeah, the crit is better here, but
There's a rifle left
there's
after.
one rifle left.
Yeah, one rifle. I think this is calculated just to be low enough so the rifle gets the crit to finish. Oh, we're seeing OgreNade just be like, I'm gonna kill some more stuff.
Yeah, I mean Sedge is gonna Sedge.
Yeah.
Maybe they're also curious, like what is hiding in the fog from Rasposo?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like, oh, Golem Witch. That's a lot of things.
Oh, we've just seen a Sedge groove.
Dragon.
There was a Sedge groove opportunity right there.
No, he has only tier 1, and tier 1 is 25%.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
And there we go. The firing squad finishes. I guess that's something in fog. If you start killing a bunch of units, the opponent doesn't know if you just like failed your lethal or if you're just finishing off units.
Well, as well played by OgreNades. They got to do their rifle dream. We've seen OgreNade make a whole bunch of rifles throughout a lot of games. They definitely one of the people in the community that's really been pushing that meta, and this map seems to do quite well with them, I have to say.
Yeah, they were both kind of trying to like surprise the enemy commander with a bunch of units from the fog, but OgreNade really like at some point the Sedge was just very far back in a safe position, so maybe they had to. I mean, because they were like preparing to do the ambush, maybe they were expecting it from their opponent too.
Well, anyway, well played. OgreNade takes it, and we're going to go on to the next game.